Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm doing another video now. This is on Marvel's Avengers again. We've just had the Avengers War Table July video today, which talked a lot about the beta and what we can expect to play next month. Obviously they also announced Hawkeye as the next playable hero that's coming post-launch, and a few other bits and bobs. So what I'm probably going to do is just run through some of the bits that I thought were the main points, just break it down for you. I'm so excited for this beta, I'm so excited for the game. Like every time I see a little bit more of the game, I just get more and more excited. Okay, so I'm just going to run through my list, so it might be a little bit scattered, but let's go for it. So Golden Gate Bridge, that is going to be the opening mission on the beta. And you might remember this is what we saw 2 years ago at the E3 press conference, when they just sort of cut together chunks of that mission to show what the game was like. But they're saying that this mission runs about 25 minutes long. It shows off set pieces, combat, boss battles, traversal, so I think this will be a really good mission to get an idea of how the game actually plays, which I think is pretty cool, and how each of those different characters play. So yeah, excited to give that a go, and just sort of get into the meat of it. So the beta is going to be brought down into a selection of campaign missions and Warzone missions. And basically the beta is there to show off the epic scale of the game, which just after watching that War Table, it looks absolutely insane, so I can't wait for that. So the Warzone opens up after you finish the single player missions. Now I think, if I remember right, there's about 4 or 5 single player campaign missions that you play first. And once you've done that, all the Warzone missions open up, and that's the Warzone missions are the missions that you play cooperatively with friends. They do talk pretty heavily in this video about, you know, if you're playing this, you can play this game single player. So if you want to do the Warzones but without friends, if you're playing by yourself, you build up your team of Avengers and they join you, and the gear that you've unlocked for them and their skills carry into that. So it's quite a lot about, even if you're playing by yourself, you've got to think about your team composition and how you build that team, which I think's really cool. So the 4 playable characters in the beta are Iron Man, Miss Marvel, Black Widow and Hulk. Definitely disappointed that I'm not going to get to play Captain America, because that's who I want to main in this game. But yeah, I'm happy with those because I think that'll give you a wide range of how the characters are going to play. They've said that in the beta you'll also have access to the helicarrier Jarvis and the War Table, and I think these are the areas where you gain your missions, your overworld map, where you go like, right, I'm going to go here and do this mission or whatever. I guess we just really need to get into the game to see sort of what they deliver to us. So in the co-op Warzone missions, there's 3 types of missions available to us in the beta. So there's the harm rooms, the war zones and the drop zones. So the harm rooms are like wave rooms. There's going to be 3 harm rooms in the beta. All 3 of them throw sort of waves of either robots or humans to fight. So I think that'll be really cool. They sort of say that these rooms are really good to sort of test your skills and your team. So that sounds really cool. The Warzone missions, there's 5 Warzone missions to play. These are sort of your bigger missions. I assume there's some sort of story element to it of, you know, you've got to go here to do this, to do this, to do this. With, I assume there's some sort of big battle at the end of those. Maybe it won't be huge named villain, but there'll be something at the end of it that'll make it worthwhile, I'm hoping. They also talked about that in these missions there's things called points of interest. So as you're flying about, a point of interest may pop up and there could be some enemies surrounding it, so there'll be a combat scenario. Following that, there could be a puzzle that you have to work out. Once you've done the puzzle, you'll be able to get inside a room, and there'll be some loot inside, and they showed some purple gear out of a chest, which looks really cool. Everyone loves those purples. So that's war zones, and then there's drop zones, which are like smaller missions, hit and run encounters. And they sort of said that these are in and out missions that might take you 10-20 minutes. And they say that these missions are good for leveling other heroes. So I guess that means that we're leveling each hero individually, I think. I don't know. So that's quite cool. They've said that you get access to a starting skill page to unlock new abilities. So you only get access to one of your skill trees basically in the beta, but as you level up you get a skill point every level and you can start spending them and learning new skills. So at least we're going to get an idea of how skills work in the game, which I think is really cool. The Hulk Buster is in the beta and you're going to be able to go all out in that, which I think is cool. And I've wrote here end gear. So the basically show that you get gear for doing your missions and you get to play about with builds and stuff, which I think would be quite cool, because I think the meat of these sorts of games is the loot you get and min-maxing your character to get a really cool build out of it. So at least we get to see a little bit of that. And then they pretty much ended with Hawkeye saying he's the first post-launch hero, and he's going to have his own sort of campaign, but these post-launch heroes are unique in that these campaigns can be played with friends rather than, it's a standalone 7 missions playing as Hawkeye. You get to bring your friends along too. So that's cool that we've got our first hero now and it's Hawkeye, so I'm excited for that. Other thing I wrote down was that there's going to be 80 Warzone missions at launch, which is really cool. Talk about this beta being a small fraction of the game, and I think they say there's like 20 missions to play in the beta, which I think's really cool that we're getting a decent chunk of this game. Say if there's 5 campaign missions, 15 Warzone missions, 15 missions out of 80 is a really small but decent chunk to see what the game's going to be like. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I guess this video has just been me gushing over how excited I am about the game. So yeah, cool. I'll be doing some videos when the beta's out, so if you have enjoyed any of these videos, check those out, give me a like, subscribe if you'd like to, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.